Warriors! Is this really happening? Is Ripple XRP really going to take over the monetary system? My name is Coach JV. I am the top health and mindset coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. What you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. I'm the warrior coach who tells you not to believe a word I say. If you give a man or woman a fish, they eat for one day. If you give them a fishing pole, they eat for a lifetime. If you teach them how to farm, they will feed a nation, as my boy William says. Now, why do I say don't believe a word I say? Warriors, you've been taught for so long, or you've been preemptive programmed for so long to believe a certain way. It's time for you to take control of your mind, to take control of your research, to take control of your own media, and start to form your own opinion. Those who control the money, control the media, control the people. Okay, so if you create your own paradigm, your own media, your own information, you can form your own opinion. So that's what I'm here to do, is to bring you information for that uncommon 1%, the people who are not looking this way at the narrative and looking this way just like the elites are doing. There's a whole different story going on. So I'm showing you these videos that are not very exciting. I could tell you that you're going to get rich in crypto. I can show you all the coins you're going to get rich, but I want to teach you the game, warriors, because the truth is 99% of people who get in crypto, I don't know where I came up with that number, but a lot of people, so you don't believe a word I say, a lot of people that go into crypto, this is a fact, are going to get wrecked because they have zero exit strategy. Every YouTuber is going to tell you how you can get rich in crypto, and that's great. I follow a lot of these people as well, and I listen to their price predictions as well. But the key is, how the hell do you get out? How do you learn economics? How do you learn how the actual game works? So I have 12 years of bank of experience. Lost my money 3 times. That's where I learned my biggest lessons, and I learned the actual power and the energy of money. And once I finally learned about money and how the system is not rigged for us, it's rigged against us, I was able to play the game. And so that's what we do in our Warrior Academy. We teach our warriors common sense. We teach them the crypto market. We teach them how to look at cryptos. We have a very, very strict exit strategy where you have to fill out your exit strategy and do homework so that you know how to get out. None of us are financial advisors. It's not financial advice. Just a group of over 900 people working together in the quantum financial system to bring the money back to our families. I'm a believer in God. I follow the life of Jesus. I'm a non-religious person. I accept everybody. So if that turns you off, I'm probably not the right guy to follow. So let's jump right into it. This stuff is not super exciting. This is the stuff that I watch, and I want to remind you right here. I know a lot of people get a kick out of this, but when I say this, 27,000 people have watched this since March 23rd. On my birthday, March 24th, yesterday, I was watching all the Senate hearings. I was going deep through Senate hearings. That's what I did yesterday. That's exciting to me. That's motivating to me. So I've been breaking down these Senate hearings with Janet Yellen and Jerome Powell, and this is probably what you should be doing too instead of watching Watt videos, okay? But we're going to watch this video, and we're going to watch the questions that they ask, and then I'm going to show you what I think from my perspective. So I'm going to show you the Senate hearing here. I'm going to show you a little bit, a piece of what CNBC picked up from the Senate hearing, and I'm going to show you where I think we're headed in the quantum financial system. Let's go.
I'd like to probe a little bit deeper on central bank digital currencies, and in particular, the need for a secure digital ID for participants. I believe that both of you are on the record as acknowledging that an anonymous, untraceable digital dollar is not a viable option for our country or the free world because its ability to be abused for money laundering.
Okay, so they're talking about, they're throwing out that Bitcoin narrative again, right? So that's what he's basically saying. That's Bitcoin. Janet Yellen, who they're going to ask the question to, is touted saying that Bitcoin is used for nefarious activities, which, do your research, she doesn't know about Bitcoin.
Terrorism financing, ransomware, and so on. Is that principally correct?
I don't think I am on the record for that, but I'll go on the record now for it.
Secretary Owen?
Nor am I on the record, but I would agree that we need to be very careful about the use of a digital currency for illicit finance, and an anonymous currency makes that much harder to control.
Yeah, I concur. I think it's sort of logically impossible, and so on the other hand, I believe that the Chinese approach to digital currencies that give the government immediate and unconditional.
We need to listen to what they're saying right here, right? So they're saying, hey, Bitcoin's out as the U.S. currency, right? Okay, but what will help move money across rails, right? So you're talking, and I'm going to break this down for you in just a moment. I want you to listen to these narratives, okay?
Access to all transaction information will be equally unacceptable to Americans and to most citizens of the free world. And therefore, a digital dollar will be crucially dependent on having an effective authentication component. That is a secure and legally traceable and maximally privacy-preserving way for participants to authenticate themselves as a unique, legally traceable individual, a secure digital ID. And it must be backed by a trusted court system and a clear legal regime to determine the conditions under which the participants might be unmasked. As a digital dollar, if it's to be used internationally, we're then going to need a digital ID system that operates internationally, at least among the free countries of the world. I'd like to thank you both for beginning engagement with authorities in other countries on central bank digital currency.
What company do you think is going to be able to do that? One company just released during all this their white paper around CBDCs.
And I was wondering where you see this discussion going as far as a secure digital ID and a means of authentication across boundaries, across countries.
Maybe I should let Chair Powell. I should let Chair Powell start with this because he's been more involved than I have.
Thank you. So, yeah, I mean, where we are is we are engaged in a process of looking at all of the technical issues and design issues which interact with each other. And that's one of the most basic ones. Reflecting your earlier question, I don't think that a system that relies entirely on, for example, completely private governance or completely secret information about who's actually owning the digital dollar would not be viable. And the lack of privacy in the Chinese system is just not something we could do here. At the same time, so there's got to be a balance, and it does call for using the two-tiered system in some way, so that there's a wallet outside of the central bank, and transfers can take place there, and that there are appropriate protections. We're only beginning to think carefully about these things, and it's going to be a careful, detailed, and probably lengthy process of consideration. One that we're investing quite a bit in now, and that I expect will last some time.
Yeah.
We're just starting to think about it, but we have the FedNow wallet already set up, ready to go.
Yeah. Secretary Yellen, did you have any thoughts on this?
Well, I would.
The issue of a secure digital ID is very much in your court, having to do with one of the things the coronavirus laid bare is the lack of simply a list of citizens of the U.S. and in our ability to rapidly distribute funds, particularly to the underbanked.
Boom, narrative right there. Narrative. We were not able to get funds to the particularly underbanked.
A high quality and universal digital ID in the U.S. would have made that immeasurably easier, as well as everything from, vaccine certificates or you name it. And
blockchain.
And so this has been, it's an ongoing discussion on many fronts. And there are also specific proposals. I believe you've had letters urging.
Okay, I don't want to bore you guys to death, but okay, so you heard the narrative, right? So we've seen this already. We brought this news to you guys. I want to continue to bring this to you guys, to your subconscious mind, because they're preemptive programming you. I'm going to predictive or preemptive program you as well. Ripple pilots a private ledger for central banks launching CBDCs. Okay, Ripple is piloting a private version of public open source, XRP ledger to provide central banks a secure, controlled, and flexible solutions for the issuance of management of digital currencies. What did they just say? Did you listen to what they just said, or were you just listening to what I said? Did you hear what they said? Ripple is piloting private version of public open source XRP ledger that provides central banks a secure, controlled, flexible solution for issuance of management of digital currency. They don't want to go as far as China to monitor everything in a free country, but they also want to go as far as Bitcoin, where it's completely anonymous. Think about that. What is sitting right in the middle with over 80% of central banks actively, it's 86, exploring some form of sovereign-backed cryptocurrency, new central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, are bound to emerge. Each new CBDC will have unique goals driven by specific market challenges and opportunities of its country, unavoidable, leading to a different technology and implication, leaving the world with an array of CBD solutions. Okay? Ripple touts role for XRP and central bank digital currency white paper. So we're talking about we need some type of currency, right, or something cross-border payments, financial inclusion. Okay, not as hard as Bitcoin, not as evasive as China, right? What's in the middle? Who's met with the SEC every single month since its inception? Who's under a SEC scrutiny and lawsuit? Who became the head of the SEC? Gary Gensler, MIT, cryptocurrency professor. Are you seeing the narrative, warriors? Okay, so Ripple touts its white paper. Well, let's take a deep dive in the waters of the white paper. Okay, so this is page 10 of the white paper that was released. This is the stuff that I read. Time to define the future of money. The introduction of CBDCs will be one of the defining transformations in the history of money. How the underlying technology is implemented and the monetary policies are set over the coming decade will determine whether sovereign-backed digital currencies open the door to enhance global trade and financial inclusion or maintain the soiled, inefficient, inequitable status quo. Today, some of the central banks are moving faster than others when it comes to piloting programs and implementing initiatives, but the future of success of CBDs will require a global consensus rather than relying on a few pioneers with their own agendas to lead the way. The world's central banks must come together to agree on a common CBD standard and protocols that will enable interoperability, while also drawing the existing knowledge and infrastructure of the private sector to accelerate initiatives. Jerome Powell said we need to bring the public and private sector together. CBDCs have enormous potential, but must first overcome the numerous challenges. Now is the time for central banks to explore these issues, develop common solutions, and ensure that the next evolution of money benefits more people and businesses and makes the world a better place. Ripple has the solution. They're out advertising this and helping central banks. But it sounds like they're just coming out with it. They're working with multiple banks, over 200 banks, financial institutions all over the world. They're already creating financial inclusion. They're so far ahead of the competition in regards to their interoperability and their utility for this solve, warriors. It's already here. The central banks are pretending in America like they're moving slow, but they're moving fast and furious towards this, warriors. Okay, so now we're gonna take this clip from CNBC, and where Fed Chow talks about Bitcoin. He actually calls it gold, which is interesting, right? So I'm starting to really build a narrative in my head. I don't know what the Wizard of Oz is going to do, but they're looking at Bitcoin as gold now, right? That's going to be the store of value, and then you're going to have interoperability like XRP, and I'm going to show you the what do you call it, the schematic that this gentleman built from Twitter that I thought was amazing based from a banking perspective. So let's watch this clip.
Welcome back to Fast Money. We've got a Bitcoin alert for you. Listen to what Fed Chair Jay Powell said about the cryptocurrency today.
Crypto assets, they're highly volatile, see Bitcoin, and therefore not really useful as a store of value, and they're not backed by anything. They're more of an asset for speculation. So they're also not particularly in use as a means of payment. It's more a speculative asset that's essentially a substitute for gold rather than for the dollar.
Brian Kelly, what do you think?
Yeah, I think 2017 called and wants its criticism back. That's what I think. I mean, these are old criticisms of Bitcoin that have been proven. It's just, it's ridiculous. But here's the good thing is the Fed does not see Bitcoin as a threat to the dollar. If you were worried that the Fed might see that and might do something, that's all you need to hear. It's all systems go for the Bitcoin.
Shepard, all systems go for the Bitcoin, okay? This is really important to understand, whereas do you see what I'm showing you here? About a year and a half ago, They were all saying, run from cryptocurrency. It's a fraud. Run away from it, right? As you look this way at a pandemic, they shut you down. They get you on your phone using a digital wallet. They're helicoptering money to you, getting you used to the system. UBI is coming, universal basic income. And Warrior, you're going to sit back and collect your stimulus. I couldn't believe when I got my stimulus check yesterday. I'm like, this is crazy. This is crazy how much money they're just giving out for free. But what people are doing is they're getting used to living off the government. And as they do that, there's a group of us building the infrastructure or investing in the infrastructure that is going to change the world. And Warriors, I don't think this year is it. I think there's going to be a massive bull run. I know we're in a massive bull run right now, but I believe it's going to retrace back around September, October. We're going to have a 3-year bear market, and then 2025 is when the major adoption is going to come in. But I want you to, so we listen to the narrative, and I want to show you a few things that this gentleman built out. I want to give him credit where credit is due. Oh man, what did I just do? Of course, I just did that. Give me one moment. Let's get back to it. There we go. So on the bottom here, his name is at Martin C. Pack or CP Volk at Twitter. So go check him out. So I've showed you guys this a couple times. I think it's remarkable. He must have some sort of banking experience, but the way he built this is phenomenal. He knows the IMF. He understands the money system, SDR, bags of currencies. These are things that I study excessively. So the coming reset of international monetary system. So he created this. I want to make that very clear. But you talked about Jerome Powell talked about Bitcoin being your gold. You got your SDRs, which is how they value currencies, right? So you have all your countries with your central bank digital currency, but how the hell are they going to move this money across the rails, Warriors? Think about that. XRP, I believe, is going to be the bridge currency that's going to move central bank digital currencies across the world. Okay, if you go back here to the white paper, okay, it's going to move the currencies across the world, creating interoperability. Okay, it's going to be the public and private sector partnership, a neutral bridge currency. This is from their white paper, showing Ripple as the bridge currency, and XRP price would be defined as a specific quantity of the SDRs, just like the local currencies, Warriors. So this is a time and opportunity that we've never had in history, Warriors. That's why I keep bringing this information to you guys. My bags are packed in crypto. I keep accumulating more. I'm dollar cost averaging now. But one of the biggest things that I'm going to continue to put out there is you can watch YouTube videos all day, and there's some amazing YouTubers. Some of my favorite is Blockchain Backer, one of my favorite. I love BitBoy Crypto. The Bearable Bull is phenomenal. Digital Asset Investors, the one that really got me into crypto and understanding crypto. I think he has a banking background as well, or a financial background. These are some of the people that I highly look up to in DIY. These are people that I watch constantly and consistently. All YouTubers, or most YouTubers out there, are going to be telling you how much money you can make and how bullish they are, right? But the thing is how do you get out, right? How do you get out of the cryptocurrency space, and how do you become a good investor? That's the key, Warriors. You got to become a good investor, like Warren Buffett style, so you can get in and you know when to get out. Because guess what? The news you're hearing is not what they're doing. You have to know when FUD is in the market. You have to know what euphoria is. You have to know how to back out of the market, Warriors. So what we do is we have a free Facebook group down below. You can join that. We go live every single day. But we also have a Warrior Academy with over 900 warriors. A very strict exit strategy. We're not financial advisors, just sharing our information. I share my exact portfolio. We have cryptocurrency calls every Thursday, technical analysis call on Friday. We have a 120-day challenge. You work out with us live daily. Nutrition, subconscious mind programming, goal setting, vision board creation. There's nothing like it in the world, in history. So we're here to help you rise, Warriors. Down below, make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at CoachJV_, and let's rise together. Warriors, rise. Let's get it.